I can't think. What am I supposed to?
Okay, cool. But I wanted to introduce you first because the way you and I met was kind of crazy because I actually had just got into like a huge police brutality thing, and that was like overwhelming for me. And then like found you on, I just got, I don't know, something just told me to get on Instagram. I saw you on Instagram. You were like helping out another person that had went through something, and I was just like, oh my gosh, let me reach out to this man. I don't know if he'll respond because he has like thousands of followers, but I'm gonna see if he can help me. And you immediately responded and was like, hey, send me the footage and let's see if we can chop this up and help. So you've always been about like safety and as far as us being Black people trying to protect ourselves. Tell me, how did that get started? Because I know you're in film, photography and film. So how did you go from photography to film to being a Black activist and what you're doing now?
Well, that's honestly two stories that collided differently. So before I got into film, I used to be a professional dancer.
Oh, wow.
I tell people that I was very much something that I coined called a comfortable slave.
Mm.
My father was very proactive, very much an activist in his time, very pro-Black, but he put me in private schools and put me into a world where I kind of lost my way in being true parent. And I believed I ate the sauce where I thought everything was Gucci. And as long as I made money, and there's these good white people out there. And, if we stop doing this would stop happening to us.
Right.
Tamir Rice.
Mm-hmm.
No, Trayvon Martin. It was Trayvon Martin, actually. Trayvon Martin died.
Mm-hmm.
And he looked like the students I was teaching at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And at that time, I didn't see color. And I was like, I should be able to help this child like I help these white kids every day.
Right.
I did a dance. We did a flash mob. At the time, I worked for one of the biggest companies called Flash Mob America.
Mm-hmm.
And I did a flash mob. And they sent 16 cops after us, after women and children.
Wow.
To harass us and threaten us and have babies crying for dancing. They don't really care about us.
Wow.
So the short story is I went through the stages that many Black people go through.
Mm-hmm.
I woke up and I'm angry now. And it's fuck all white people. I hate every white person now and I'm angry. And over that time, I tell people what ends up happening to you is then you start waking up and you become conscious.
Mm-hmm.
I don't consider myself part of this conscious community, but I do understand my consciousness.
Mm-hmm.
And I started realizing that hate and love is a parallel feeling. I don't hate you because I don't love you. What I realized is that they just put time into their own people.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it's not consciously about hate or racism. It's about money.
Right.
And they just rather spend their money and their time with their own people. So why don't I just do the same thing? And I slowly started waking up. And like I tell a lot of people, I don't hate white people. I just love Black people more.
Right.
I don't give them any energy. As that one girl said on TV, I think it was, they're a non-fucking factor to me.
Right. Exactly.
And then, social media came up and started getting big.
Mm-hmm.
What's happening is I started getting a voice and I went viral over a situation and I got blacklisted.
Oh, wow.
They started seeing my face and tried to make me backpedal and I wouldn't. And I realized that a lot of Black people, melanin people online talk a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But what are you willing to sacrifice for this? Where are you going to stand? I don't watch football. I don't judge anybody who does, but I don't, because I've seen what they do to our people. I don't watch basketball. And I'm used to be the biggest head. I'm talking about, I have videos of full parties I would throw, chicken, everything. We watching Giants and I'm a New Yorker and I played Madden. But I gave that up for what I believed in.
Right.
And then, so I started on this journey where at first, and then there was times I'd post stories that weren't true and I had to hold myself accountable for it.
Mm-hmm.
Researching. The more I researched, the more I learned about who we were, who I am. And I realized the voice that was coming from this. So I started doing something called Black Lead by Example, which is me showing my life with my daughter, being transparent. I'm driving down the road one day, and as I'm filming these live little situations, we got attacked by some racist dudes. And me being the New Yorker and the police complex dude that I am, I chase them down. I jump out of the car. I try to get them. They run and leave because they're scared. They're cowards. Right. Well, Redstone Firearm saw me. And him and his wife called me and actively trained my daughter, me, and my fiance.
Wow.
And I say he not only saved my life, but he helped me reborn. He gave me a purpose, showed me a skill that made me feel safe again. And I took that and ran with it. You know, I come from the Bronx where the only two people who have guns are police and drug dealers.
Right.
I was neither. I was a business. But once you realize you're not safe with the police and our own people or people that who act like them are after me, then you realize there's a right in this country, my two-way right, my Second Amendment right to defend my house, my home, and the people I love.
Right.
It's my legal right. So why am I not exercising it? And that's what got me where I'm at now.
Nice. I love that. Thank you so much for telling that story. I had no idea that you were a dancer and like, you know, the whole Trayvon Martin thing kind of shook your world. Cause I know we all go through our experiences where we're like, whoa. And then you eventually wake up out of your comfort zone and, you know, start realizing I want to help my people. So thank you for sharing that. Cause I know that probably it's not easy to say that you were, you know, helping other, you know what I'm saying, the colonizers and Caucasians. It's not easy to say that, you know, you didn't see color, you know, it's not easy. But so thank you so much for sharing that. So when it comes to, because I know now you're doing like, you're interested in getting into gun safety and teaching about guns, like why are you going that route?
Because of my own travels, you know. When I was trying to educate myself and I go online, you see all G.I. Joes. You see all these John Wick guys, and all of them don't look like us.
Right.
They have all these body armor on, and they're shooting guns, and they're doing all this stuff. But I grew up in the hood. When we shot guns sideways, and everybody, you have 5 guys. I was telling a story last night. You got 5 guys sharing one gun with 6 bullets.
Oh, wow. That really happened. That was like you guys?
That's a true story.
Wow.
And those people don't get a connect. There's a problem in our community of classism when it comes within melanin Black people. Where the educated, the so-called educated, so-called wealthy, there's a disconnect for them trying to help the community that is under them. So I know how to talk like that. I talk like that every day. I'm very educated. Don't let the way I talk make you think I'm not educated. Yeah, I can code switch. I choose not to. So I chose to focus on the people I thought needed it the most, which is my community, where everybody down talking about we got gun violence in the hood, but none of you so-called people that are so dope want to go to the hood and train.
Right.
You know what I mean? You want $270, $175. Those people in our community can't afford that. But the gun violence is in our community every day. So I focus on people in the hood. I teach them about Legal Shield. I teach them about USCCA. I teach them about US law. I teach them about the right and how to get a legal firearm. I remember one time, quick story, I was driving Lyft. Young man gets in my car. He's distraught. He shows me a video. He had a birthday party his aunt let the community in, and some guys put a gun on him. He was on his way. His cousin had just told him to come pick up a gun from him, an illegal firearm.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how old are you? He was like 22. I said, why not go get a legal firearm, bro?
Right.
Because if you're defending yourself and not being an attacker, you go use that illegal firearm, you going to jail no matter what.
Exactly. And a lot of us are scared to get a firearm that's like legal.
In our community is the only community where I see when something bad happens with a gun, they try to tell us that we should disarm ourselves. When history proves that doesn't work. So why not teach these kids how to shoot properly? What I do is I train kids for free.
How are you teaching them? Like what platform are you using? Because I know right now you're stationed in Atlanta.
Georgia.
Oh, Georgia. I'm sorry. And you were in California. So you went from California to Georgia. Were you teaching out in California as well?
Yeah.
Okay. How were you teaching them there? And then how are you doing it?
Well, I take kids out to the range. You know, I
Okay.
take them out. I meet their parents. A lot of times I get to train their parents and their kids are there, and then I get that relationship build.
Okay.
But also as I go in the hood and I just talk to kids. And so the first thing that I do when I was in Cali is I take them shooting to paintball.
Okay.
Actions speak louder than words.
Yeah.
Once I tear their ass up a little bit with that paintball, they realize, oh, he's nice. Oh, Mr. Pierre know what he's doing. Yeah, bro. I was shot. So when I tell them my story, it to them, it gives me street cred.
Mm-hmm.
And it captivates them. Oh, you was shot? Oh, you was in the street? And it's like, no, but I let them have it. And that pulls them in. And I actually beat the street. I walk the street. Hey, bro, do you know anything about your gun rights? What'd you say to me? Do you know anything about your two-way rights? What the fuck is that? Your gun rights, B? Nah, I never even thought about that. Well, then I start talking to them.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not scared of my people, and a lot of people are.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to talk to me? Good. I can walk out on the street, meet 30 people, and maybe only 4 of them want to talk to me. That's 4 more people.
Yeah.
And I look at brothers and I say this in my language, you'll do anything to fuck some pussy, but you won't do anything to save the kids. I know brothers that will talk to 20 women and get turned down 20 times. Talk to one kid and say, yo, these young boys don't want to hear nothing from me. Neither did those 20 women.
Right. Right. So how long have you been teaching, walking up to people and, trying to teach firearm and educate people on firearms and laws and get guns?
About a year. So before I became certified, I was trying to put people to Redstone. I still do that.
Right.
That's my cheers.
Mm-hmm.
Where everybody knows my name, Jared, Aubrey, Christian, Geneva, Queen, Jonathan. Those people have a place in my heart that will never leave.
Right.
Because they were the first people to see me and help me have something that gave me life. So I push people to Redstone in California.
Okay.
Now, sometimes because they're overpopulated in their classes, I'll say, hey, I also train.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Some people want a one-on-one situation they may not get with Redstone, so they come to me.
Got you. Okay.
You know
so
what I mean?
You'll do class and you'll do individual.
Yes, ma'am.
And you also teach children. You'll walk up on a stranger and say, hey, let me teach you about these gun laws.
I do that right now in Georgia. I be walking up to people like, yo, do you, especially because the sad reality for our Black women right now is the threat is coming from every angle.
Mm-hmm.
Our own outside community, within women now, because a lot of women date women.
Mm-hmm.
Prime example, I went to a training to train a young lady, and I'm talking, I see a lady looking through the booth, looking at me.
Mm-hmm.
Long story short, she was going through a stalker situation where her girlfriend was stalking her.
Wow.
But because of how I articulate myself and didn't make her feel closed off and spoke about no matter who you date, I've also learned how to communicate to allow everybody whose sexual orientation may be different to feel welcomed and being trained by me.
Right. That's good. That's good.
And,
you're able to appeal to all audiences.
Yes. So she spoke to me, and by the time I was done, she was shooting straight. Now I do it for a living, but it's not my passion to make money off my people. I need to pay my bills. Don't get it twisted.
Right, right.
But once the other lady who was training with me was okay with it, I trained the other lady and found out the lady I was with had been through a 10-year marriage of domestic violence. This lady went through domestic violence and was willing to get a restraining order after speaking with me.
Mm-hmm. And I know you're really big on domestic violence. You post that a lot on social media when it comes to women retaliating towards men and vice versa.
Yes.
So when it comes to like those weapons and things like that, how do you, I guess, like when it comes to training and teaching people about gun violence, like how do you incorporate that, like those type of conversations into your teachings?
I remind people that we're melanin. So make sure you know the law.
Right.
So prime example, when I tell a lot of people who deal with domestic violence why it's important to get a restraining order. Mm-hmm. You talk to people on the road, they'll tell you, sorry.
You're okay.
Sorry. You'll talk to a lot of people on the road and they'll tell you, restraining orders don't do shit. I don't know why you keep telling me that a restraining order. It's a paper trail.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know how many women are in prison just because there's no paper trail? And the police love this line. Well, you should have called us. You don't do shit when you come.
Right.
But You got to understand, when I hear Black people say, oh, I know the law, do you really? Because it's about what you can prove, not what actually happened.
Mm-hmm.
So if you get a restraining order, you go back for a restraining order, you report that person, you make a written report over and over and over. When you finally have to defend yourself, there's a paper trail that I asked, I begged, I pleaded for your help.
Right.
We have been taught that shit don't matter. Don't talk to the police. Don't do that. That's not right.
So you're when it comes to Black women and Black men, you know, as far as like getting in domestic violence, you're unbiased. You believe that they both need to be protected.
Yes, I do.
And stop hitting each other and fighting each other. And you are okay with them saying, okay, let me call the police and get a restraining order like that? Because I've always taught growing up, my mom said, if you get into an argument with a Black man, do not call the police on him. You know, don't do that, or whatever the case may be.
So here's what I teach on. This is what I tell people on this. You have a responsibility for accountability.
Mm-hmm.
Before you called the police, you should have left.
Mm-hmm.
Before you call the police and put a Black man or a Black woman in jail, you should have left. I'm saying this for one more time. You should have left.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not going to sit here and tell you to put your life on the line.
Right.
For somebody who's trying to hurt you. I also believe in accountability. You call the police on somebody and you're wrong, you should go to fucking jail too.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry.
No, I agree. And I love that. I love that you said that, because I'm glad that you said that, because like I said, it's been a fear of mine. I've never been like a big fan of the police. My mom always tried to steer us away from it. But when you talk about restraining orders and things like that, you know, being able to utilize those tools for legal, you know, just in case anything ever happens, that's really good to have. So,
but also that's the reason why I tell people you need to train.
Mm-hmm.
You need to know how to protect yourself. At the same time, I don't just teach training, I teach smart acknowledgement of what's going on. What does that mean? If you know you're dating somebody that you truly don't respect, trust, or understand who they are, you should not be inviting them to your home.
Mm.
You should not be going on a date without letting somebody know where you are,
mm-hmm.
without your kitchen being shared. I teach these elements that many people don't think about.
Got you.
Stop walking into your house on your cell phone with your hand in your cell phone. When you do something, if you're right-handed, carry your bag in your left hand so you can defend yourself. When you walk into your home, do you pay attention to the shadows so you don't walk into a threat?
Got you. Okay.
You see what I'm saying? So it's not just call the police.
Mm-hmm.
I've given 20 million steps before you have to call the police.
Got you. I like that, because you're giving them tools. Like, if you want to go this route, here's the way to do it, but do it in this, in this profound way, so that way no one gets hurt. I love that. So when it comes to training and getting people back into the gun range, what particular caliber would you say that would be best for them to protect themselves?
It depends on the person, their body shape, and their hand shape. Prime example, the young lady that I went to. So there's 3 levels of firearms for me. When it comes to home defense and self-defense.
Okay.
We have, this is a 9mm Beretta.
Okay.
Full size, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is a Glock and my M&P for my CCW.
Okay.
The reason I show you those 3 is those 3 different sizes that I put the person's hand first and see how they're able to hold the firearm.
Mm-hmm.
And
so if you have bigger hands, you probably shouldn't.
You could have something bigger. Now, it also depends on what is your lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
Do you carry a purse? That's why I say I don't want to say this is what's good for women.
Right.
Because you tomboy women who wear jeans and wear sweats, who are not really dress oriented. Mm-hmm. And you have sexual orientation may not make them feel like I want to be looked at just as this woman out lifestyle.
Right.
You have men that do the same thing. So what I do is I talk about hand shape and your lifestyle. Prime example, carry a purse. This firearm may be better than this firearm.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But you need to understand that. Somebody needs to explain that to you. What is your everyday carry?
Right.
Go ahead. I wouldn't tell somebody, like, this is a 40 cal.
Mm-hmm.
It's very snappy. I wouldn't inform somebody who's a lighter weight person to buy a 40 cal, tell them to get a 9mm.
Right.
It's more common. It's a more common caliber of bullet that shoots more consistently for that person's size and weight.
Gotcha.
You see what I'm saying? So there's things to knowing the person individually.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like needs to go in there other than saying men should carry this and women should carry that.
Right. Okay. And that makes sense. And then I guess it would be the same. I guess it would be the same thing when it comes to holsters as well, because they're coming out with so many different holsters. What would you say that someone should, because I always think that the one on the side, kind of how they teach you, like, the cops and stuff, I feel like that one's a good one. What do you think would be like?
So the difference between OWB and IWB, which is in the waistband or out the waistband.
Okay.
Me, I don't like out the waistband for everyday carry for normal people. Why? You're calling danger to yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You're letting everybody know, hey, I'm the armed person in the room. I have a gun. That's not a good thing.
Right.
Because if I'm a threat and I walk into a room to do something dangerous, I'm looking for the only person that's armed, and I'll take you out first.
Yeah.
So I believe in concealed carry. I believe in that to the day I die. Even when I do security, I don't do outside the waistband. I don't need you to know or want to try to fight me for my gun.
Got you. Okay. So I wasn't even thinking of it like other people may see you as a threat or something like that. I was just thinking if you're walking around like that as a male or something, maybe people will feel more secure, like, oh, okay, he's probably, a cop or something of that matter.
If you ain't got even if, I hate to say it, in the day we live now, even if you're a cop, it just makes me know that's what I want to take out first.
Got you. Okay. So concealed weapons, what kind of concealed holsters would you say that you have? Like, do you have like some that are like in the pocket?
I carry my in the waistband 12 o'clock just because that draw for me is more comfortable.
Got you.
I carry my second concealed firearm on my 3 o'clock.
Okay.
But it also depends on how do you carry your body. A lot of situations for me are going to be face to face.
Got you. Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So I don't want to have to turn to my side to do something like this. I practice right in front or pulling from here. Me personally, again, one of the things I focus on is your lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of questions. You know what I mean? And I will tell you this, it's not about what I want, it's about what you want. And I tell every person before you leave your house, you should draw your firearm 10 times to find out if there's going to be a mishap with your shirt, your clothing, your jacket.
Got you. Wow. I didn't even hear that going into the military. That was just, so that's good.
You want to know what your clothing is going to do. I started security, and because it's been cold out here, I got to wear a hoodie. Then I wear my shirt over my hoodie. That 3 pieces of clothing I got to draw up before I pull for my firearm. Exactly. And the first week of me doing it, the week, I was stumbling around.
So you basically got to have that self-awareness. You got to have that self-awareness of what who you are as a person and how you live your daily life. Yes. And I love that you're teaching that. And that's a good thing that you pointed out as well. Like, don't walk in your house looking down on the phone and stuff like that for women. Because I was thinking when you were saying, like, where would you put your holster? Or when I was asking you, where would you put your holster? For a lot of us, a lot of women, we carry our guns in our purse. So are you teaching them as well, like how to safely pull it out, or, maybe, telling them not to probably carry it in the purse? Like, what is your thoughts on that?
My thing about it is not to tell somebody not to do something they're going to do anyway.
Right.
That's the problem. I can teach you, don't do this, don't do that, and then you're going to leave me and throw that bitch right in your purse.
Right.
So you need to learn how to use what you have. I teach a lot of women this.
What's that?
You'd be surprised if you stand in front of somebody, have them walk by you, and don't tell them anything and put your hand up, they stop. So use other mechanisms to help you get to your purse.
Okay.
Hey, stop. Oh my God, I'm so scared. Oh my God, put my purse in because I look like I'm scared, but you know why your purse is scared.
Nice. Okay.
Opening it. Oh my God, I'll give you my money. Get your head, you know what I'm saying?
Got you.
An actor or actor. Being controlled in your fear.
Mm-hmm.
So that person thinks they're controlling the situation and doesn't know, actually, I have full control of the situation.
Wow.
I am drawn in.
So
Go ahead.
You're actually teaching them, like, because like I know when it comes to like fear and threat, like a lot of people don't think. So you're teaching them to think in the light of a threat or fear.
So like what you asked me, I'm in film.
Mm-hmm.
So when you train actors for a scene, you coach them through it.
Got you.
I coach people through a scene, scenarios.
Wow, I like that. So that way they're always ready.
Yes, so you're always ready. There's repetition to what you're doing.
I like that. So let's talk a little bit about gun cleaning, because we talked about holster and we talked about, the way you train people and how you get the word out. What about like gun cleaning? Because I didn't really, when it comes to gun cleaning, how often do you think a person should clean their gun so that way it doesn't recoil or anything like that?
I'm a little unorthodox with that because it all depends on your usage of your gun.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I hear this. I'll tell somebody to unload their magazine more than I'll tell them to clean their firearm.
Okay.
If you ain't in the dirt, if you're not on courses, driving, dust and stuff like that, especially depending on the type of firearm, there's no reason to keep tearing it apart and probably having a mishap for you putting it back together.
Right. That makes sense.
But I do worry about your magazine and the spring in it. Because that's where you'll get a lot of jamming if for me, I'll take a magazine like this and I'll unload it and reload it, or I may not push it to capacity.
Got you.
If it holds 10, it doesn't need to put 10 in there. I'll put 8. But I also know that I've learned how to practice counting my shots while I shoot.
That's smart. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Yes. So I'm more about magazine exchange and the spring in that than cleaning your firearm. But obviously, if you go out and that's why I say you need to train. Mm-hmm. Me personally, I go to the range and I shoot 5 shots, 3 shots. If my gun locks up on me, time to figure out what's going on.
Got you. Okay.
But like a car, if you drive it every day and you shoot it every day, the muscle, the mechanisms in it will keep oiled and work. You can oil a gun. But if you sit there and you don't ever touch it, it locks up on you.
So basically, you need to have that relationship with your weapon.
I tell people treat their weapon like their body parts.
Okay. There you go. Well, there you have it. So I love that you are moving into this direction, Remy. Where do you hope to see yourself in like a year from now in this activist direction that you're going as far as like gun safety and just building your people up? Like what can we expect moving forward?
Full classes school. I want to open a tactical school for kids mostly. Okay. Nothing against adults, but a lot of y'all are set in your ways. I feel like if I can teach kids at a young age about self-defense, because a lot of people fail to realize that when I say self-defense and armed training, I'm not just talking about a gun. Mm-hmm. I can do a lot of damage with a fork.
Oh, wow. Okay. So you're going above and beyond to help make sure that they stay protected and safe and aware.
I want to re-educate our Black men. A lot of Black men that I see do weak things. Mm-hmm. 1, can't defend themselves, so they feel to violence. Mm-hmm. 2, have never lost a fight, and so when they lose a fight, their pride hurts them. Mm-hmm. And 3, don't understand the difference between leaving a situation and being a punk. It's 2 different things. I can be a man and walk away from a situation clearly because I know what I can do to you.
Right.
And it's not worth me fighting somebody or hurting somebody because I'm still a Black man and I know what that will cost me. Mm-hmm. Than over running away because I'm scared. So the more we empower our young men before that, so they realize I'm walking away because if I hurt you, my dad's going to kick my butt. You don't know that, but I know that.
Right.
I just de-escalate many situations because in my confidence, not to say I can win every fight, but I know how far I'm going to win that fight. Mm-hmm. You may not be. I train every day for you. You don't train every day for me.
Right. Thank you. I love that. So where can people contact you, Remy? How can they get a hold of you? How can they?
I just started a YouTube page, which I'm going to put your show on and tell what you.
Yes.
YouTube page. I also have line shooting. I I'm trying to, you can go to my DM. You can call me at 818-821-4785. But I also just want to throw this out to anybody who's watching this. I want to build a conglomerate, a community of like-minded people where we teach each other and then we take it out and teach other people.
Yes.
It does not make sense to have all this information and not share it with people. Now, if you want that specialized training, there are great brothers and sisters in the community that you can go and pay, and they will teach you that specialized training. But for the everyday knowledge that I think every melanin person should have, Black, brown, we need to give it to them.
Yeah.
How to find self-defense insurance. If you drive your car without insurance, why do you not have insurance for your vehicle? And for your car.
For your gun, yeah. Your weapon, yeah, you're right.
Why not?
I didn't even know they had that. Yeah.
Yes.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Different levels depending on what state you are. Shit, I just found out one of the insurances I have, they do blood cleanup.
Oh.
They come to my house and clean up in case somebody get popped.
Wow, that's crazy.
About how much that could be bad if I have a self-defense situation.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Some places are better with what they'll do for you when you're in a self-defense situation than others.
That's
true. So a lot of us melanin people, the biggest problem is bail. Being bailed out so you can even fight your case.
You're right.
You can't fight behind bars. That's where a lot of us fail. We can't bail ourselves out.
Yeah. And then we're automatically guilty, no matter what the story is. So I love that. I love that you're constantly teaching. Don't stop that, because if it was not for you, I wouldn't be doing this right now. Like, honestly, you really put me on a good path. So definitely keep doing your thing, Remy. You are such a great, amazing person. Is there anything that you wanted to say?
Yes.
Yes, go ahead.
I hear from a lot of people that, especially after this Kyle goofball trial, that there's not the same laws for Black people and white people. And to a point, that's true. But at the same time, while we're talking about Kyle goofball, ain't nobody talking about Andrew Coffey, which is a Black man that defended himself, lost his girlfriend because of a legal raid, defended himself, and killed a police officer. So don't tell me we can't do it. Say maybe it doesn't happen all the time, but if it happens one time, that means we can. And the problem I have is what I see with many people who you see on YouTube fighting with the police. I know my rights. So if you know your rights, why aren't you shutting the fuck up?
Right.
That's the problem I have. We don't understand that many times when we lose in their court system is because we don't truly understand their laws.
Right.
We weren't prepared. We were reactionary instead of actionary. We weren't ready. You understand?
Absolutely.
Get out the car. I will definitely get out of the car under duress. I don't want to talk to you, officer, but I'll definitely have a conversation if you allow my lawyer to be here. Now I don't sound combative. I don't sound angry. He can't use nothing I'm saying to be a trigger to find a reason to do what he wants. Anything he does will be illegal.
Right.
And I'm gonna shut up, officer. I'm gonna take my right to be quiet, please. But like I said, I'm here to help you with everything you want. As long as my lawyer can be here, boss.
Right. It's the way you say it.
It's not what you say, it's how you say it. We all were raised like that, but we seem to forget that our energy gets, and they control us then. I don't need to have a talk with you, sir. I don't even know why you pulled me. Can you articulate what I did, what crime I did? That's not the point. Oh, then I don't need to talk to you, sir. For your life and my life, I want both of our safety.
Right.
I don't want you to try to incriminate me with something I didn't say, and I don't want to have to sue you later and take away your qualified immunity.
Boom.
It's for both of our safety, sir, so thank you. Well, that's why you're going to go to jail. Stop being scared to go to jail. They're going to take you anyway. Sir, I feel like you have to do because I won't let you violate my civil rights. Then you have a good day and do that, sir.
Right.
I got two dash cams in my car.
Yeah, I just got mine. Remember you told me to put it in there? Yeah.
One that can film the driver door or the passenger door if I need to. One from front and back. Put your money where your mouth is. If you really know that you're under threat, then do what you got to do to protect yourself.
Absolutely.
Live to see another day to fight it in court. I say this to Black people all the time. You got two choices. Either fight for your life or fight in court.
Yeah.
Make a choice quickly.
Yeah. And if and like, I love how you said that, because if you die, going out the way, because you were angry or whatever the case may be, then you'll never be able to tell your story. Other people won't be able to hear it. And, that way you minimize that one scenario for either future scenarios to continue. So yeah, absolutely. Like trying to stay alive so you can live, to fight another day. Like you said.
My last piece to you before I get out of here, every single Black person in this country needs to get life insurance. Because guaranteed, if every time they killed a Black person, they had to pay out of life insurance, you'd watch the life insurance company lobby and change the laws.
Oh, yeah. I agree. Let's start pushing that narrative.
If they killed a Black person, they had to pay out $100,000, $200,000, $500,000. You'd watch how fast these insurance companies, hey, Mr. Governor, we got to talk. Your officers cost me $26 million this year. Because right now, it comes out of our pockets. So there's no reason to stop killing us.
Yeah.
I'm going to sue the officers and sue the city. We got $26 million. Yeah, from the people. And when that starts coming out of their money, they pockets, you watch how quick they be like, hey, we need your officers to stop killing Black people right now. They woke up. They're all insured.
I think we should do that. I definitely think so. And tell, not just do it, but like tell everyone, because a lot of people don't even know how to get life insurance. A lot of people don't have a job that offers life insurance. So you have to sometimes step outside of that to get it.
My life insurance policy is the one bill that never gets lapsed. If you see me disappear from social media, that's because I ain't paid my cell phone bill, but I paid my life insurance.
I know that's right. Well, I agree with you, Remy. I definitely think that you got to keep pushing that and letting everybody know so we can change this whole world.